Welcome to episode 192 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. My name is Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Knit and Tea where I sell my handspun yarns, and we have a Ravelry group called The Corner of Knit and Tea. Hi, how are you? It is Sunday, July 22nd. It is a scorcher outside, and so I am staying cool in the air conditioning. This has been kind of a busy week for me, and my husband left. He went on a, he's doing RAGBRAI, which is a bike ride across Iowa. So he left on Friday and will not be back until next weekend. So it has been quiet around the house. I confess I have been staying in my comfy clothes and mostly indoors this weekend and doing lots and lots of crafting, which has resulted in some finished projects for me to show you, which I am excited about. And other than that, I don't have too much news to report. The Tour de Fleece is still going on, and I am spinning on. I'll have a big spin to show you today. And I am already partway through another spin. We are closing in on the final week of the tour. The tour will end next Sunday, the 29th. So I hope that you have had a wonderful week, and let's get into the podcast. Today I am drinking birthday tea. It is in a tin from my local tea shop called the Tea Market. But birthday tea is a Harney & Sons tea. It is a black tea, and it has flower petals and some fruity flavors in it. It smells like apricot to me, and it's sweet and lovely, and my tin is almost out, so I may have to go back and get some more. And I am drinking it in my Sip Something Sinful mug. So this is a favorite of mine. There is a review on the blog, I'll link to it in the show notes, of birthday tea, and it is not my birthday. My birthday's in May, but it sounded good today, so I grabbed it. I am drinking it hot. I've been indoors in the AC, so hot sounded good. And that is delicious. I don't know exactly what it is. It's got a couple different fruits in there and some flower petals. And normally I'm not a huge flowery tea person, but it is quite nice. So let's talk about the knits. I do have a finished knit. I actually delayed recording for a couple hours so I could finish these. These are my Christmas in July socks. I have made a lot of progress this week because I think I had possibly not even gotten to the heel last week. I can't even remember. I think it was on my list to finish one and start another, but I had a bunch of knit time this weekend and decided I wanted to crank these out. Like I said, these are my Christmas in July socks. The yarn is Leading Men Fiber Arts, the Showstopper base in Oh Christmas Tree. It is a merino cashmere nylon. They feel lovely. And the pattern that I used is Galliano Socks. It is a simple pattern with some cable and a little bit of lace up on the front of the sock. I decided not to carry it over into the foot. And while I don't think the yarn takes away from the pattern, I think it is kind of a speckled and crazy yarn. It's supposed to look like Christmas tree lights, which I love. I think it does. So I think it's fine that I didn't do the pattern on the foot. And I did basically, I modified this slightly to make these fit me the best. I actually knit the medium size on the front and then the small size on the back. And then basically, so I ended up with 60 stitch socks, even though the pattern ranges between 56 and 64 for the small and medium sizes. I did about 10 rows of twisted rib at the top rather than the 20-ish it called for. I did the 7 repeats on the leg it called for. I did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and then just did a standard toe. So those are my Christmas in July socks. They are done. I have not quite half the ball left, so I'm thinking maybe Roxy's gonna get a pair. I haven't decided exactly how I'll do her pair. You need at least 26 or 28 stitches to do the cabling pattern, so I might just do a simple cable on hers, or I might just do straight socks for her. But those are my Christmas in July socks done, and now I have a pair of Christmas socks to wear for this year, and I am so excited. And these are super soft and luscious. They're going to be great come Christmas. So that is my finished object for the week. The next knit that I worked on this week is my Pismo Beach pullover. That is by Amanda Schusger, and I am knitting that in Katja Air Luxe in the teal colorway. And I have made quite a bit of progress this week, even though it still does not really look like a sweater. I am up to several inches. It looks like I left off in the middle of the front, which is not the easiest way to show this, but basically this is a pullover. It starts from the bottom up, and I am several inches in. I still have a ways to go. As you can see, there is a split hem, front and back. Ooh, let me make sure I'm not losing a stitch here. There is a split hem front and back, which is how you start, and then basically it's just a tube body shape, and you just keep knitting, and that is where I am at. I need to go to approximately 19 inches, and I would say I'm at maybe 6 or 8. So that is where I'm at with this one, and we'll continue to work on this. This is going to be the only project I'm working on this week, so I hope to make quite a bit of progress. I do not think I will finish this by the end of the month, and I do have other things to start next month, so this may end up in the whip pile for a little while, but I am still going to get more done before then. Like I said, the yarn is Katja Air Luxe. It is a viscose and merino, and it is in this teal colorway, and it is almost a metallic, and so it is really, really gorgeous. I am enjoying working with this. The pattern is nice and simple. It's basically, it's a 4-row lace repeat, but only 2 of the rows are lace. The other ones in between are just knit, knit, knit. So this is coming along quite nicely, and like I said, this will be my only project that I'm working on this week, so we'll see how much more progress we can get in there. But I am really, really, really happy with it, and I can't wait to have it done so I can wear it. But that is what I'm working on this week. It, again, is a pullover that I'm going to make sleeveless, so it's kind of a summery sweater, probably for a summery evening, and I'll wear a tank top underneath it anyway. So that is that one. I received some new yarn for review this week, so you will see me doing something with that in the next couple weeks. This is Brown Sheep Company Stratosphere, which is their new 100% superwash DK weight wool. It is a 3-ply yarn, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 260 yards DK weight, and the colorways are Hot Air Balloon, which is this bright red, and Flying Kite, which is kind of this pinky, it's like pinky, purpley, reddy, yeah. So I will actually not be using them together, although they look like they would be a great together. I was offered a couple skeins, and I decided these are going to be winter accessories for the kids. So I'm hoping to get a hat and mittens out of this one for Miles. And then Roxy will probably just be a hat or something. I don't think I'll be able to get a hat and mittens out of this one. So my plan is to knit the kids some winter related stuff in the next couple weeks. I believe I said I would review these in August, so that will be kind of towards the beginning of August what I work on. But it feels really good. I reviewed their Prairie DK, which is their non-superwash version of this earlier this year, and it was really delightful. And stay tuned, because there's going to be something involving sweaters and a knit along and some fun this fall, and I'll be announcing that next month. But so this is Stratosphere, and this is what I will be working with in the next couple weeks. So let's talk spinning, because that is mostly what I have been doing. I finished my Metalocalypse last week and showed you that, and that is still up in the shop. And what I have been working on is what I showed you a while ago. The folks at Kramer Yarns were nice enough to offer me some fiber to spin, and I selected to do it this month so that I could do it in conjunction with Tour de Fleece. And what they sent me was this big box of Kramer Mausch Chunky Roving. It is a sampler box. Their Mausch Chunky Roving is available, I believe, oh, I was supposed to go look this up. I believe it's available in either half-pound or 1-pound increments. They have, I believe, close to 30 colorways, possibly a little bit more. all different kinds of solids and semi-solids. Their fiber is 100% wool, and what it is it's blended together. So some of the colors are basically pure color, and then some of the colors are blends, I believe, of the other colors, because I can look at the roving and actually see the different colors that they blended together to make them. So they probably have, you know, like 10 base colors, and then they combine them, card them together to make the other colors. So what they offered to send me was either a pound of roving or this is 20 assorted colors in an 8-ounce box, and it actually was super generous. It turned out to be about 9.5 ounces. So they sent me this box, and I showed you all these little balls, and now they are all mini skeins. So I will go through these a little bit. I spun them in chunks of colors, and I'm going to put them together sort of in the chunks of colors that I spun them in, if I can remember which ones they were. Okay, so this was the first set of 5 that I spun, and I can't tell you the exact colorways because I'm not 100% sure. The photos on their website it's a little hard to determine exactly which is which colorway. But so the first one that I did was this one. And this is kind of a candy apple, like dark brick red, maroon, burgundy. And then this one I think is their raspberry because it's kind of a magenta color. And then this is kind of a golden. I think this one is butterscotch. And then I don't remember what this one is, but it's kind of a minty, tealy green. And then this one's kind of a celery green. And I really actually liked this set of 5 together. And it may do, I ordered some Madeline Tosh yarn as a neutral to go with these. And I'm thinking about doing a little striped cowl with these 5. So that was the first set. And all of these range, let me think about this. All of these range between about 10 and 15 or 16 grams. And most of them are about between 20 and 30 yards a piece, I guess. So it just kind of depends. Some of them were heavier than others. I gather that they just kind of pulled a ball of roving, and, you know, like some of them were super tiny and some of them were much bigger. So like this total, I think I have about 150 yards of about sport weight yarn. And so I bought a skein of Madeline Tosh Pashmina to go with this, and I got kind of a neutral color which leaned a little bit pink, and I'm hoping it's going to be great with those. This is another project that will be coming up, and I will show you that when I get to that. The second set of minis that I put together were the primary colors, and let's see what I had here. Oh, and I had some brown that I spun the first time around. So I have this like bright kind of cherry red, and then I have the red that was probably toned down with cream because it's like a paler red. It reminds me of kind of a brick color. And then I've got this bright sunshiny yellow, which I think might have been lemon. And then I've got kind of a pale blue gray colorway, so very like pale blue. And then I've got kind of a medium sky blue, and then a dark kind of royal blue, and then I have a brown here. So I kind of put these together as my little primary colorways, and I think this would be a great project too, like a great cowl project. I can't think of anything that I'm going to do with all of these in one project. I probably could. These would be great for color work too, but I don't know. I just kind of grouped them together as I was spinning them. So this was the second set that I did. And then the final set was kind of a mishmash of things. So I started with the purples, and this is kind of a lavender, and then I've got the dark purple, and then this is more of a light pink magenta-ish. It's got some purple in it, but, and then I spun the black and this kind of army dark green, and I thought these actually looked great together and would be really nice in a project together. So, and they remind me of a Noro colorway, actually. And then the last ones that I had, which kind of didn't go with anything else, but I mean, they could, I just didn't, you know, in spinning order, had kind of a peachy, and then a cinnamon, and then this white or cream color, natural color. So that is my whole box of mini skeins. And like I said, whoop, dropped one. All of these are between like 20 and 40 yards. It kind of just depends how much was in the box. It was a super fun experience to do all of these, and I love laying them out next to each other and playing with the colors that go together. I also think this was a great way to see a bunch of their colors. So if I wanted to do, say, a sweater spin, I could order all one color, but I also could do some kind of color work on the yoke, and I could put them together and see like would these two look nicely together, or maybe do it with a darker purple, or, you know, it's just a fun way to play with little bits of their color. The roving itself, like I said, it is 100% wool. I would call it a medium weight wool. It is not super soft like merino, so it is also not super rough. If you are a little bit sensitive, I would say this would be best for not right up close to the skin. I mean, it's not super rough, but like, I don't know that I would be able to wear it right up against my neck. My guess is that it would make excellent mittens, I'm guessing, and it would be a great colorwork sweater, particularly if you just wore like a shell or something underneath it. So I really enjoyed this. Thank you to Kramer Yarns for sending this my way. I will be doing a full review and post on my blog this week, but this is kind of what I have been up to this week, and like I said, the whole box ended up being at 9.5 ounces. Which is more than they said was in there, so I have to be super thankful for that as well. And now I just have to decide, you know, what kind of projects I want to do with these. Like I said, I ordered some Madeline Tosh Pashmina because I was looking for sport weight yarn, and I suspect I will do a cowl out of some of these colors. The one I've been looking at is the Gradient Wrap Cowl. It was meant for worsted weight, but I'm just gonna adapt it to my gauge, and it is basically just a stripy cowl. She does it in a ombre stripe, and so mine won't be an ombre, but or ombre. But I will pick a bunch of these colors and decide what I want it to be. Oh, and now I'm like looking at all these colors and going, ooh, that would be super pretty. And then what else could I put in there? Could I put in more blue? Or this is what I'm going to end up doing for the next couple weeks until I decide exactly what I want to do with these. Oh, with the brown, that would be nice. See, I can come up with a million different combinations. So that is what I'll be doing with this box. But this was super fun, and I can totally recommend that you try some of their roving. The roving is very reasonably priced, and so if you are looking to get like a sweater quantity to do a sweater, I would recommend it. It didn't have lots of stuff in it to pick out, not a lot of vegetable matter. It was cleanly processed, and like I said, it's blended and dyed beautifully. So that is my Kramer Mausch Chunky Roving. So that leads me to what I'm spinning right now. I haven't brought in all the spins that I showed you several weeks ago, which I probably should, but I brought in all my braids before the tour, and so if you want to go back, I think that one is called Prepping for Tour TDF, and so I showed all the things that I'm spinning. I'm currently working on a spin from Woolly Wonka Fibers, and I am spinning on her Tour de Fleece team. This is a merino black tencel braid. It's 80% merino, 20% black tencel, and it is in the colorway Rose Garden. And so it's got like teal and pink and yellow and green, and it is spinning up beautifully. I have about half of it on the wheel done that I spun yesterday, and I'm going to try and get the other half done today and ply tomorrow. And then I have one more big braid. It's a Julie Spins braid, and it is 6.5 ounces, and my hope is that maybe I'll be able to finish that during the tour. I had thought I would be able to sneak in some Hello Yarn, and I just haven't, but I'm not worrying. I'm just spinning what I can spin and enjoying the tour. It's more than I've spun in several months, and I'm already well over a pound, so if I get 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds done, I am not going to be sorry. But so that is what I'm working on my spinning wheel. And like I said, I probably have one more spin in me before the tour ends next Sunday. So that is kind of what's going on here. I have a bunch of projects that I'm setting up for in August, and I will probably bring some of them next week because I'll start to think about them. I have some baby gifts to knit. I have a baby sweater, and I want to knit another little Mario for Big Sister. So that is going to be the first couple, the first week or two of the month. I need to knit the Stratosphere that I showed you into hats. And I also need to get a start on Roxy's birthday sweater, which I have finally picked a pattern for. So that is kind of a preview of what will be upcoming in August. I don't know how many more socks will be in there. I'm not sure there will be any for the next couple months. And like I said, stay tuned because there is going to be a sweater knit along in the fall, and I'm ironing out details on that, and we'll be announcing that next month. So I think that's all I have for you today. I hope you are having a lovely weekend and are getting to craft to your heart's content. I know I have in the last couple days because that's pretty much all I have been doing. I am going to make myself leave the house this afternoon and go do some yoga, but otherwise I think I'm going to sit and watch the tour and catch up on movies and binge watch television and just knit and spin and enjoy not doing much else. So I hope you have a lovely week, and until I see you next time, I will say happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye!